Hey guys, so today we're going to go over the printmaking process in terms of actually inking the print and getting a print from our inked print. Okay, so a couple things that we need. Actually, we need quite a lot of things. We need our piece of foam. Now this one is colored because it was already printed. I did already make a print with this. But again, the cool thing about printmaking is you can make multiple prints from the same block or foam or whatever you're using. So you can repeat it over and over again and make more copies in different colors. So I have already done this one. And then this is what it looks like printed. Now I could have probably used more ink on this, so I am going to try that again and add more ink. Now, important things that you need to make sure of before you start printing is you need to make sure that your foam is indented enough before you print. Now, I purposely didn't indent some of the things enough just so that you can see when it is actually printed. Some of the grass and some of the details, they don't really show up that well because they're not that well indented on my actual foam. So you need to make sure you're pressing kind of hard with the pen and run your finger over it to make sure you can feel that bumpiness and that indent there. And that's how you know that you're ready for actually printing. Okay, so you need those, you need that. You're also gonna need a blank piece of paper because this is what you're gonna actually print on. You're gonna need a mat for underneath, that way we don't get ink all over the table. You're going to need 2 rollers. One of them is for rolling the ink on, and then the other one is for rolling on top so that we can apply pressure to create our print. You need a ink color. You can use any color. You can use up to 3 colors at once. I'm just going to use only blue for this print because I don't want to take up too much of the colors just to show you. And then you need a tray or a plate to put that ink on. So let's get started. Position this. Okay, so first thing I'm gonna do is I have my foam on one side of the mat and I have my blank paper that I'm gonna print on. I'm gonna put some of the ink, just open it up and put some of the ink on there. I do not need a lot, no more than this. This might even be too much. Okay, and then close that ink up and put it to the side. So I'm going to take my roller and roll all up in that ink, really making sure that my entire roller gets filled with that ink. So now my roller's completely filled with that ink, and I'm going to roll it on my print. Okay, now you'll see here as I'm rolling it onto the print that it's rolling in the parts that are not indented, because you do not want it to go into the parts that are indented. That's important. So we're rolling it on top and not pressing too hard because we really do not want it to go in those spots that are indented. Okay, so it turns out I was kind of wrong about the ink and I do need a little more. So I'm gonna put a little more. But again, it's always better to have to add more than having way too much and being really wasteful about it. So I'm gonna roll some of my ink, roll back on here. I wanna make sure it is covered. If it is not covered, then it might come out kind of blotchy like my first one with not enough ink. So I wanna make sure all of those spaces are covered. And it's not gonna dry immediately, so you genuinely do not have to worry about working super quickly. Great. Once it is evenly covered, I can then take this and I'm going to place it carefully on top because I only get one shot at that. Okay. Then I'm going to take my clean roller and I want to apply a lot of pressure for this. So that's why I'm standing up. I'm rolling over. I want to press really hard and evenly. Over this whole thing. making sure I really apply enough pressure. And I can roll this way and this way just to make sure it's nice and even. Again, it's always better to roll too much than not enough. All right. And then I'm just going to peel off, and it reveals my print. There it is. Okay, now this one actually came out better than the first one I did. You can see a little more details of the grass in this one because there is more ink on it. Okay, and I could have probably added even more ink, so I'll be a little bit more liberal with the ink next time. But this is what the print looks like when it comes out. And then you can just kind of wipe this off, and then you can print in another color if you want to. And there we go.